Yeah, hey Brenda,
Hi.
listen,
Excuse me.
you're doing, I just wanted to help you. I'm not trying to do anything. You need to ease up. Things are okay.
Okay.
Listen, calm down.
No, you calm down.
Hold on, come here. I just want to help you.
Okay.
You did great, but I had a few ideas here for the piece. And I was just,
Away from me.
well,
God, you make me sick. I don't need your help.
no, it's right here. I just wanted to show
Okay,
you.
then point to it. Don't touch me.
Hey, listen.
Hey, listen.
I'm telling you, I've helped a lot of people.
I'm sure you
A
have, but I
lot
don't
of
need your help.
people, because I'm in the industry. I've been in for a long time, and I can help you. A lot of women have started here, and I've really helped them to advance their careers.
Okay,
And
well,
I think I could help you
Thank you.
too. So
Well,
just no.
no.
I mean, just let me show you.
Well, show me. Just
You need
point.
to relax.
You need to chill out.
Okay.
Okay. Hi, Mr. Connors. I have a question for you. This is Brenda Hoffman, sorry. Well, my boss has been kind of harassing me, and I kind of want to know in the terms of sexual harassment. It's been pretty bad lately, especially today, so I'm not sure what to do.
News Sensation is on location here today with Channel 9 meteorologist Gary England. Gary, I'm glad you joined us here.
Hey, good to be here.
This afternoon. Just wanted to ask you, Channel 9's coverage is one of the best in the state, if not the best in the state. Can you tell us a little bit about the severe weather coverage here?
Well, we do a reasonably good job, and and we're successful at it. And the reason is we made a lot of mistakes in the past. We learned from our mistakes,
right.
And we developed a lot of equipment and concepts here that have spread around the world. And really, Channel 9 is considered the premier severe weather station in the United States. So we didn't start out that way. Like I said, we made mistakes. You learn from your mistakes, and you improve.
Right. The May 3rd tornado, 1999, that was probably, in my opinion, maybe the most memorable weather events I know in my life. I mean, I'm 20 years old, and 20 years I've never witnessed anything like that. You were here for, the whole thing. I remember when you came on about 4 o'clock, and you didn't go off the air till, God, midnight or 1 in the morning.
It was late, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that day?
Well, I've been here 20. I mean, I'm 21 years old.
Oh, you're 21.
No, but I've seen a lot of storms, and a lot of significant outbreaks, and it was, when the day started, we started looking at the data. It looked like there'd be severe thunderstorms and tornadoes. I don't think anyone had any concept that there'd be that type of outbreak.
Right.
But as the morning progressed, what we call the Cape, basically it's potential energy down in southwestern Oklahoma, continued to get larger and larger, and the instability of the atmosphere continued to grow, and it looked more and more like there's going to be severe weather. But still, no one's thinking F5.
Oh, yeah.
And finally, it just started, and it started like a lot of other storms do. Just one went up really fast, and it went up spinning and produced a couple small tornadoes, and then supercells frequently cycle. They'll go up, they'll produce a tornado, it dissipates. And a lot of times that's it.
Right.
But this one went on down the road, produced another tornado. And it cycled, and then it produced another tornado. Anyway, it finally got up near Chickasha. Of course, by that time we had other tornadic thunderstorms going on. It got up near Chickasha, and it became that stovepipe with that satellite tornado. It was obvious that, we had really, truly an animal on our hands. And that was at 5:57, and that's the first time in 27 years here, and 27 years in television business, I ever said you're going to have to be below ground level to survive.
Right.
And so and it cycled again after that. After the big stovepipe with the satellite, that dissipated. And then north of Chickasha, or northeast of Chickasha, it came, it was huge. At one point, it was approximately a mile wide. And then it started coming on up toward Oklahoma City, Bridge Creek and Oklahoma City and such. And it was an incredible experience. I've probably dealt with maybe 1,000 tornadoes through the years, and I've never seen anything like that in my life. And to be watching it from the helicopter live, and it would go through the power lines, and we'd see the flash, and then we would go off the air for just an instant, and then we'd come back on, and I remember when it was going through Bridge Creek, you could see the power line flashes, just pow, pow,
Yeah,
pow,
you
pow,
saw
pow.
it go right up the highway there, right up. I look here in the Weather Center, I see all this equipment. I know there's Doppler 9000 XL, Viper, Max. Can you tell us a little bit about your toys that you have here to forecast the weather?
Well, we use them all, and some of them we developed here ourselves as the years went along out of necessity. We never said, oh, this is a wonderful idea, let's build this. Like our little storm tracker that projects out the time of arrival. This is the way we used to do that. We'd say, okay, we look at the radar screen. Storm's here. That's 30 miles. It'll be here hour. So we did it for years. And one day we said, there's got to be a better way.
Right.
So we built the first projection system back in the early 90s, and that was just out of necessity. But so the storm projection systems, the storm tracker systems, Viper is good. That has the cylinders so that people can really see where the circulation is. All the Doppler radars. We have 2 on site. We use the NextRad systems. We have redundancy in almost everything we have here. Satellite receivers, everything, because as you know, in electronics nowadays, one of them always breaks.
Right.
So we have a lot of equipment. We're pretty good at using it, and it's very effective. The technology is such that you saw it on May 3rd. We can give a warning on a major tornado an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours in advance. It's amazing.
I know a lot of people at OSU have a tendency when a severe storm comes through and they're watching you to go out and storm track themselves. Can you reiterate to the folks watching, to the college kids watching, that's not a good idea?
It's not a good idea, but it's not going to make any difference what I say. You know that. But the key is these things will kill you. The main danger is lightning. If they're going to go out and do it anyway. They're going to go out and look. But the thing is, lightning sometimes may reach out 5 miles from a storm, and lightning is a bad thing. If it doesn't kill you initially, it'll kill you later. It produces enzymes that attacks your nervous system. So, don't go. It's not a good idea. But if you do
I've
go,
heard stories, people going out, west I-35 there, they start seeing the tornadoes, and then a few kids have gotten themselves in trouble for almost.
Well, it's quite exciting. There's been people killed by lightning. We've had three of our employees struck by lightning. One of them's never worked again, and the other one's a little messed up, and the other one's okay. So, hey, that's the danger.
It is dangerous, I'll agree. Now, coming up on spring tornado season, can you, what are your thoughts this year? Anything new Channel 9's introducing, or?
Not really. We have all the best equipment in the world. We have the best people. People fight to work at this television station because we have a good reputation. But we have the people, we have the equipment, and we're not planning anything that new. We just want to go out and do the best job we can. What we use our storm trackers for is what we call ground truthing. A lot of people use storm trackers to go out and just to get video and look at this and put themselves in front of the tornado and all these things, and that's a bunch of BS. We send our people out, and the objective is get that person out there. If we can get a picture, fine. But we want that person to feed us information back, so we provide better warnings, faster warnings, more accurate warnings, and that's the primary objective. So our people are a lot different in what they do. They get great video, but their objective is to feed information back to us.
The weather show, where are you going to take it this?
I haven't even looked at the schedule yet. We've delayed it a little bit because we are producing some new features for it. But we do about 5 to 7 per year, and I'm not even sure where we're going yet this year.
I recommend Stillwater. Come up to OSU.
We had our first Terrible Twister show in Stillwater years and years ago. We were afraid no one was going to show up, and we had a place that held about 1,500 people, and we got there, set everything up. And there was nobody there.
Oh,
and then about 30 minutes before it started, like 1,500 people showed up, and we said, this might be a good deal.
Yeah.
So,
you could sell at the Student Union. I guarantee you. You could go in there at the theater, put it on. Everyone would come see. There'd be lines.
Oh, it's wild.
It is wild.
It's wild, and it's beneficial. We entertain, but we inform, and we teach. You don't need to be afraid of tornadoes, but just maintain a healthy respect.
Right. Anyway, that was Channel 9 meteorologist Gary Inland. Gary, I want to thank you for talking to us this afternoon.
I enjoyed it, sir.
And we'll be right back with viewer mail.